What seemed like an ordinary day in the field took a turn no soldier could have expected, from strange figures and unexplained sightings to eerie carcasses found deep in the woods. Tag along for some of the most shocking encounters ever recorded.
It shows now.
While exploring the woods, an explorer came across a sight he never expected to see. As he moved through the trees, he noticed something unusual beneath the branches. It was a humanoid carcass with features unlike any human. Its skin had a strange texture, and its limbs were oddly shaped. It looked like an alien, but how did it end up here? The guy tried to look for any debris of the aircraft it was using, but found nothing. It could be possible that the alien had a little accident on his way back to Mars and got stranded on Earth. Nazca discovery. Grave robbers raiding a cave in Nazca, Peru were expecting treasure, but what they found was beyond anything they imagined. As they dug through an ancient grave, they uncovered a strange blue, human-like figure resting inside. At first, it seemed lifeless, just another relic of the past. But then, its hands moved. The sight scared them. Without hesitation, they dropped everything and ran, leaving their tools behind. They had set out to loot a tomb, but instead, they might have disturbed something not from this world. Strange remains. A group of friends was exploring a remote area of the woods when they spotted something in the distance. As they got closer, they realized it was a decayed creature that had been there for a long time. But its appearance was pretty odd. It had large nails, a weird shape, and an unsettling resemblance to the infamous chupacabra, the creature known for preying on animals. This time, however, it seemed like the predator had become the prey. Brazilian sighting. This mysterious carcass was found in Itajuba, Brazil. A local was wandering through the mountain trails when he came across a sight he would never forget. Lying on the ground was a gray being with large black eyes. It wasn't resting. It had been lifeless for some time, its body slightly decayed. The sight left him shocked. An alien, right here in Brazil? How did it end up in these mountains? Was it left behind? No one had answers. But one thing was clear, these woods would never be the same again. Lost visitor. A strange video has been making rounds online, leaving viewers speechless. In the footage, tourists exploring a dense forest stumbled upon a decayed body. At first glance, it looked human, but it wasn't. The shape, the features, everything pointed to something extraterrestrial. The way it lay there, lifeless and forgotten, raised questions. Did it collide here? Was it left behind? One thing was certain, it never made it back to its planet. Instead, it remained here, as a silent mystery in the woods forever. Andean crash. In January 1974, something collided with the Andean mountains of Peru. Witnesses claimed it was an unidentified flying object, but military authorities denied everything. However, before they arrived, locals had already taken something valuable from the site. 33 years later, a group of researchers explored the area, hoping to uncover the truth. What they found wasn't debris, it was a body. And not just anybody, but one that wasn't human. As they investigated further, they realized the crash and this being were connected. Whatever had fallen from the sky that night wasn't just an object. It had carried something not of this world. It was an alien that never made out of this world. Silent Watcher. A camper set up a trail camera near his camp for security, but what it captured was beyond terrifying. A bald figure appeared on a rock just in front of the camp. Its body was unnaturally thin and elongated, making it clear this was no ordinary creature. It was the Rake. Reports say it watches people silently from the darkness, waiting for the right moment. The footage showed it creeping, its hollow eyes fixed on the camp. Some believe it was hunting, ready to go after anyone it saw. But the camper remained unseen. If the creature had noticed him, the outcome could have been much worse. Whisper Ghoul. One night, a homeowner in a quiet neighborhood heard strange whispers coming from a window. As he approached, he got scared when he pulled back the curtain. He found himself face to face with a nightmarish creature. It had pale, rotting skin, glowing white eyes, and sharp, zigzagged teeth that scared him. The thing behind the fence was no ordinary being. It was the Whisper Ghoul, a cryptid said to creep in the shadows, mimicking human voices to lure people closer. It didn't move, just stared at him, its grin never fading. That night he knew he was being watched. Hollow Stalker. Late one evening, a resident heard heavy footsteps echoing across his rooftop. Curious but uneasy, he stepped outside to investigate. He was shocked as he spotted a strange, pinkish, human-like figure crouched on the roof, its elongated limbs and featureless face fixated on him. The moment their eyes met, the creature ran, moving unnaturally fast as it vanished over the edge of the roof. It never appeared again, leaving only silence behind. Locals call it the Hollow Stalker. A being that watches from above, choosing its next victim, though no one knows what happens to those it finally decides to follow. Tree Stalker. In 2021, in the forests of Siberia, a hunter was tracking his prey. Moving carefully through the trees, he spotted movement ahead, but as he got closer, he realized this wasn't an animal. A black figure sitting on a branch of a tree, its pure white eyes locked onto him. The moment their eyes met, he got scared. He knew if he went any closer, he might not make it out. Without hesitation, he backed away, leaving the area as fast as he could. Some say he encountered a cryptid, a creature known to haunt those who step too far into the unknown. Tree Dweller. A camper was resting in his tent when strange noises woke him up in the middle of the night. The sound wasn't coming from the ground. It was above him. He looked up and froze. Sitting on the branches above his camp was a pale, bald figure with glowing eyes. It shifted constantly, making it hard to focus on. But one thing was clear. It wasn't human. It was a rake, watching him from the darkness, waiting for the right moment. Every time he thought he had a clear view, it moved again, staying just out of sight. He knew one thing for sure. If he didn't run away, things could have ended differently. Forest Visitor. In the Black Forest area of Colorado, a farmer kept noticing strange lights flickering around his property. In the beginning, he kept ignoring them, but they kept returning, always in the same spot. Determined to find the source, he started recording. One night, while walking his land, his flashlight landed on something that made his breath catch. A gray-skinned figure with an oversized skull stood motionless in the darkness. Its hollow eyes seemed to pierce right through him. It was an extraterrestrial. The farmer didn't wait. He turned and left, never stepping near that spot again. Leak checkup. In February 2025, a shocking video surfaced online, showing what appeared to be an examination of a small, humanoid creature. Its skin and unusual features shocked the viewers across the internet. The footage, uploaded anonymously, was rumored to be leaked from a secret government facility. Scientists and conspiracy theorists debated whether this was real proof of extraterrestrial life or an elaborate hoax. But before anyone could uncover the truth, the video vanished from all platforms without a trace. No official statement was given, only silence. What really happened in that lab? No one could say for sure, but the fear it left behind never faded. Window Watcher.
Aliens are just another hoax, huh? Well, you check out this video for yourself.
A video surfaced online that left viewers unsettled. A strange figure stood outside a window, a small, gray humanoid with an oversized head. The uploader claimed it was proof of alien life, but not everyone agreed. Some saw a clever hoax, while others believed it was something the government didn't want people to know about. The footage was grainy, but the weird shape was hard to ignore. As debate spread, theories grew. Was it a visitor from another world? The truth remained unknown, but one thing was certain. The sight of it was enough to scare people. Haunted woods. You will never step into the woods at night after this. A Ghostbuster was investigating an old, abandoned house in the forest. As he explored the upper floor, he noticed a strange thing. A set of large nails slowly creeping up from the window. Before he could react, a human-like figure dressed in white emerged from the shadows. The moment he locked eyes with it, his instincts kicked in, and he turned and ran. Whatever he had just seen wasn't a ghost. It wasn't human either. Some say he came face to face with a cryptid, a creature that was never meant to be found. Forest alien. In Kerala, India, a group of fishermen headed into the woods for fishing at a lake. But on their way, they came across an unexpected sight. Something standing still in the distance. It wasn't a human, nor any animal they had ever seen. It had a weird, otherworldly shape. An alien. Shaken by the sight, they quickly captured it on camera, determined to show the world what they had witnessed. Stories of extraterrestrials roaming our planet had always been debated, but now they had proof. And if they're already here, who knows what their true intentions might be. Nightcrawler footage. On his way home late at night, a local driver saw an unsettling sight, and his dashcam caught it all. A thin, pale creature crawled across the dirt road, its elongated neck stretching unnaturally. It had no fur, no clear features, just smooth, colorless skin. Its movements were slow, yet unnatural, almost as if it didn't belong in this world. The driver didn't wait to find out what it was. He pressed the gas and reversed the car, leaving the weird figure behind. Was it a cryptid or something worse? No one knows, but the footage remains, a scary reminder of what lurks in the dark. Peeking figure. A group of friends were camping in the woods when they heard strange noises. At first they thought it was an animal, but then they noticed something. A figure was looking at them from behind a tree. But this wasn't a person. A pale, otherworldly figure stood there, only part of its head visible. It didn't move. It didn't blink. It just watched them. They felt its stare, but none of them dared to get closer. Realizing what they were looking at, they didn't wait around, and turned back immediately. Horned stalker. A local was walking through the woods when he noticed someone staring at him from behind the trees. Two sharp horns rose from its head, and its glowing eyes locked onto him. It didn't move, didn't make a sound, just stared. He got scared. Whatever it wasn't human. He didn't wait to find out if it was a chupacabra or something worse. He turned and ran, leaving the weird figure behind. Luckily, his camera captured everything. But even after watching the footage, the question remained. What did he really see in those woods? Winged omen. While hiking in the woods, a father and his daughter noticed movement to their left. A tall, winged figure emerged from the trees. Its long limbs and thin, skeletal body looked unnatural, and its grayish skin blended with the snowy landscape. Its massive wings flapped, but it didn't take off. Instead, it glided across the ground, moving fast before disappearing into the trees again. Some believe they saw a lost species. Others insist it was something far more sinister, a sign of something terrible yet to come, just like a harbinger of doom. Ghostly student. Students at a university were going about their day, attending classes and sitting outside in the courtyard. Everything seemed normal until one of them noticed something strange. In the distance, someone was staring at them. When they looked closer, they saw a white, ghostly figure. A woman standing completely still, watching them closely. She didn't move, didn't blink, just stood there. Some believed she was a spirit connected to the university, lingering for a reason only she knew. Others feared she had a different purpose, something far more unsettling. Glowing eyes.
Turno, acabei se olhando e coloca. Olha lá!
A group of friends was heading home late at night when they spotted an unusual thing in the distance. Two glowing eyes staring back at them. In the start, they ignored it, thinking it was nothing, but an uneasy feeling crept in. They stopped the car and pulled out a camera, zooming in to get a better look. That's when it moved. A pale figure peeked out from behind a tree, its shape unlike anything human. It was a cryptid being. The realization hit them all at once. Without hesitation, they turned the car around and decided to leave, knowing they had seen something they were never meant to. Street creature. This video has been going viral across social media and for obvious reasons. On January 8th, 2024, in Miami, Florida, a local captured a strange creature crossing the street. It had long, thin arms and legs, moving in an unnatural way. Its shadow stretched across the pavement, making it look even bigger. People online were quick to debate. Some believed it was a monster, while others called it an elaborate hoax. But the real shock came when reports surfaced of the same creature being spotted in other parts of America, chasing people. Whatever it wasn't staying in one place. Farm intruder.
Son of a bitch.
One night, a farmer near the Appalachian Mountains heard creepy noises coming from the woods behind his property. He had lived there for years and knew every sound of the night, but this was different. Then, his chickens started vanishing. Determined to find out what was going on, he set up a camera and waited. Hours passed before he finally saw it. Two glowing eyes appeared in the darkness, followed by a pale, contorted figure. It didn't run. It didn't blink. It just stood there, watching. Then, without warning, it moved, its limbs bending in unnatural ways. The farmer yelled, and after a long, tense moment, the creature disappeared into the trees. Maybe it was a cryptid creature, or much more creepier. Trail stalker. A YouTuber was on a lonely trail at night, hoping to document his journey. Everything seemed normal until his flashlight caught something up ahead. A tall, thin figure stood motionless in the distance. Its empty eyes reflected the light, unblinking. It didn't move, didn't react, just watched. He gripped his camera, trying to steady his breath. The figure's pale, hairless skin looked unnatural. Then, it stepped forward. Not fast, not aggressive, just certain. The video cut off. The YouTuber never posted again. Some say a shapeshifter took him. Others think something worse happened. Hidden face.
But I don't think that's right because I literally could hear it swooping across.
A camper was sleeping in his tent when he suddenly woke up to strange voices coming from the woods. He stepped outside but saw nothing, so he decided to record his experience. As he spoke to the camera, something unbelievable happened just behind him. A pale white face appeared, almost like a clown, but the moment the camera turned, it vanished. It didn't stay gone for long. The face reappeared briefly before disappearing again. At the time, he had no idea, but when he checked the footage later, he realized how lucky he was. If he had seen it then, things might have ended very differently. Jungle Gray. A shocking video surfaced online, leaving viewers unsettled. Filmed in the Peruvian jungle in 2018, it showed a tall, pale figure moving between the trees. Its oversized head, thin limbs, and unnatural movements matched the descriptions of the so-called Greys from reported encounters. The person recording hid behind the foliage, too afraid to get closer. The footage was grainy, making it hard to confirm what they had captured. Some believed it was real proof of extraterrestrial life, while others dismissed it as an elaborate hoax. But one thing was sure, whatever it was, it didn't belong in that jungle. Forest rake. While exploring the woods, these friends had no idea what was waiting for them. The forest was silent, just trees and darkness stretching endlessly. It felt empty until this. As they moved forward, a pale figure suddenly appeared ahead, slipping between the trees. It didn't charge at them or make a sound. Instead, it moved away, almost as if it didn't want to be seen. But those who know the stories understand what that meant. It was a rake, known for stalking its prey before striking. Realizing the risk, they made the right choice. They decided to turn back before finding out what it had planned for them. Mountain horror. A creepy video surfaced online, filmed in the Appalachian Mountains at night. The local who recorded it had been hearing strange noises echoing through the trees. Nervous but curious, he kept filming, trying to make sense of it. Then, something stepped into view. A tall, pale figure with hollow eyes and an unnaturally thin frame. It moved in a way that didn't defy nature, its limbs twisting as if they didn't have bones. The man froze, realizing too late that he had seen something he never should have. The footage cut off abruptly, leaving viewers unsettled. Had he just come face to face with the infamous rake? Whatever happened next? The video gave no answers. Still figure. What would you do in a situation like this? As these friends were crossing a road through the woods, they noticed someone standing in the distance. At first, they thought it was just a person, but something felt off. The figure was human-shaped, but not quite right. It stood completely still, covered in white, not making a single movement. Maybe it was some weirdo, or maybe worse, a skinwalker perhaps. They weren't going to wait and find out. Without hesitation, they kept moving, never looking back. Tree sitter. A resident was looking out his window late at night when he noticed someone sitting on top of a broken tree. Its shape was strange, humanoid, but not quite right. Its face was weird, almost unnatural. At first glance, he was just shocked, unable to process what he was seeing. But then he remembered the stories. A cryptid was said to roam the neighborhood, though he had never believed it until now. Now he is the one telling people about it. Lake visitors. Lakes aren't always peaceful. Some can leave you with nightmares. That's exactly what happened to this local. He was at a quiet lake in the woods, enjoying the scenery, when an unexpected thing happened. From the bottom of the lake, a long, skinny being emerged, its oversized skull making it clear it wasn't human. Before he could even process what he was seeing, another one appeared. It was no mistake. They were aliens, and they were here. But why? Maybe all those stories and movies were right. Maybe they've been watching us all along. Vanishing boys. A scary video surfaced on YouTube in 2013. It showed a group of boys exploring an old, abandoned house deep in the woods. In the beginning, the place seemed empty, just another forgotten building. But as they were leaving, something appeared. From the main door, a humanoid figure peeked at them. The boys panicked and rushed to the top floor, but that's where the footage ended. If you look closely, the creature had the features of a Wendigo, the legendary being said to possess a hunger for people. Strangely, those boys were never heard from again. No one knows what happened, except the Wendigo. Red light. A homeowner was sleeping peacefully when strange noises from outside woke her up. Curious, she stepped onto her balcony, and that's when she saw it. Something was crouched behind the bushes, holding a red light in its hand. The light flickered as if it was trying to aim at her. For a moment, she felt dizzy, almost as if it was pulling her in. She gathered her courage and stepped outside, but the figure was gone. The moment she returned inside, it appeared again, the red light glowing in the darkness. Was it a cryptid? An alien? And why was it using that light? No one knows. Shadow Watcher.
Shows now.
A disturbing video surfaced online showing a group of friends camping near an abandoned building deep in the woods of Canada. As they sat around the fire, a bizarre noise echoed from inside. Curious yet cautious, they grabbed a flashlight and decided to check it out. As the light swept past a doorway, a pale figure with hollow eyes peeked out and then vanished into the shadows. Shocked, they searched the building, but it was gone. The creature's thin frame and unnatural movements reminded viewers of the Rake, a terrifying legend said to stalk the woods. Whether real or not, the footage left many uneasy.
Shows now.
Ruins terror. A photographer was exploring the ruins of an old recreation center, capturing weird snaps. As he focused his camera, a terrifying figure emerged from one side of the building. It was humanoid in shape, but much bigger and creepier. It let out a deep growl and rushed toward him. He got scared as he turned and ran, hoping to escape. Whatever he had just seen wasn't human. It felt like a devil straight from hell. He never returned to that place, convinced that some ruins are better left undisturbed. Final footage. A strange video appeared online in April 2024, showing a ghost hunter exploring an abandoned building in a remote area. As he moved through the dark hallways, he heard heavy footsteps outside. Before he could react, a devil-like creature with terrifying eyes appeared right in front of him, letting out a deep, furious growl. He panicked, but there was no escape. The video cut off suddenly, leaving viewers shocked. Since then, no one has seen or heard from him. Many believe he was taken by the creatures, leaving behind only his scary final footage. Desert Gnome. A group of friends had spent the whole day on a safari and were about to leave the desert when they noticed movement near their car. Turning on a flashlight, they carefully observed a figure hiding behind a rock. They waited for it to peek, hoping to see if it was safe to approach. When it finally appeared, they were stunned. It wasn't a child, but a small, human-like creature, a gnome. In European folklore, gnomes are said to guard underground treasures and minerals. This left the group wondering, was there hidden treasure beneath the very desert they had just explored? Texas creature. A video surfaced online that left viewers stunned. On July 24th, 2024, a group of teenage explorers were in an abandoned property in Texas. As they moved through the decaying halls, they heard strange noises behind a closed door. Curiosity got the best of them, and they slowly pushed it open. Before they could react, a towering alien-like creature struck toward them. Its long, gray arms stretched through the doorway. Its hollow black eyes locked onto the group. A deep, unnatural growl filled the air. One boy barely dodged its grasp before they all turned and ran. Thankfully, the barricaded door held, stopping the creature from following. They decided to leave immediately. Bridge encounter. While crossing a bridge in the woods, a local noticed movement in the stream below. At first, he thought it was a human, but something felt off. Its appearance was strange, too thin, too unnatural. It looked more like a rake or even an alien. The moment it spotted him, it started running and it disappeared behind the bridge walls. He had one thought in his mind, that there might be a chance that it was not the only one here. Maybe there was more, like a whole community, and what if they ever strike together? Pigman encounter. A creepy video surfaced online showing a group of friends were in the woods late at night. They were laughing and filming their experience when they noticed a strange, glowing orb in the distance. As they whispered about it, a sharp noise echoed through the trees. In the start, they thought it was a wild pig, but then something appeared from the shadows. A monstrous figure with the body of a man and the head of a pig. It roared and charged at them. The group ran, but it followed. Some believe they had just encountered the legendary Pigman, a restless spirit haunting the woods. Forest stalker. A resident was about to sleep when he turned off the light and noticed someone staring at him from the dark woods. He quickly grabbed his flashlight, trying to see what it was. The figure remained still, its features unclear. For some moments, it was still. Then, without warning, it rushed toward him. It was bald, humanoid, and crawling unnaturally, just like a rake. Panic set in, but he felt safe inside. That was until if it managed to get in. Glowing eyes.
Woi, lagi santai kawan.
While heading home late at night, a local passed by an old abandoned house. Curiosity got the best of him, and he stepped closer to see why it had been left behind. But then, he noticed someone standing behind the fence in the dark. It had red, glowing eyes and long black hair, and was covered in white. It wasn't human, it was a ghost. watching him, and was waiting for him to come so it could do what it was famous for. If he made it out, he would regret ever stopping. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. A leaked video spread across social media showing military officers surrounding a strange creature on the ground. Its elongated limbs and pale, smooth skin made it clear it wasn't human. Its large black eyes stared blankly. Its origin remained unknown. No details came with the footage, but theories spread fast. Some believed it had crash-landed, while others suspected a secret experiment. The military's involvement only fueled speculation. The video ended abruptly, leaving the world wondering what had really happened.